The day the demons found our world, the innocent were first to die. They are ravenous. They are endless. They are the Scourge.
Howdy, Exiles. Tables here. Before we get into the builds that we're going to showcase today for League Start, just want to go over my philosophy on why I chose these builds. The Scourge League, I don't believe is going to be a bossing league. Yes, there will be bosses, but for the most part, it's just a straight-up kill league. So efficiency, speed clearing, high damage. You're going to be inundated with so many mobs given the blood bar mechanic. And while you will be able to choose when you leave the alternate reality, while you're there, you're going to want to be as efficient as possible. So the builds that we have for you today, I think we're going to have 5 of what I think are going to be some of the strongest league starters and the most efficient with your time, given the fact that there's not going to be a ton of like really rare uniques, really sought after uniques that are going to be at a relatively good price. I think these are the builds that that you guys are going to want to see, because I think it's going to be very important to be as efficient as possible and to have the most enjoyment with a kill league like this. And we'll go from there. So I hope you guys enjoy. Builds are coming up. Our first build up on the list is Lightning Trap Saboteur. It comes straight from the Path of Exile forums, the class build forums. You can find it there. The link will be in the description. This build has amazing clear speed, very good bossing, but its strong point is its clearing. You'll see in the video in the bottom right-hand corner. It has an extremely detailed guide and is absolutely all content viable. It is very defensive with max block, with energy shield regen on block, with 10% energy shield regen from the Saboteur Ascendancy. As far as being a league starter, it's a very budget viable. You'll go Chaos Inoculation with a little bit of investment. You can't just get Chaos Inoculation to work with no investment yet. You have to invest a little bit. But for the most part, it's very viable. And then it is more than scalable towards the end game with low life, pain attunement, and Chevron's wrappings. Wonderful build. I think anyone that chooses this will have an amazing time in the new league. Next on our list is my build, the Vortex Occultist build. It has some really solid clear speed. It's not the fastest, but it is decent and it's good enough. I was running, delirious maps fairly easily, which you'll see in the video. It has a very detailed guide, is all content viable, as you can see from the video itself. And I'm really interested to see how it holds up against the new Uber content that we got coming in 3.16. It has a great deal of block with a ton of energy shield regen. We're running budget CI with no clusters with very little investment. And our end game is, I believe, a dual cluster setup with heavy investments into Cold Dot over time, energy shield regen, and various other little quality of life things for Vortex itself. This is a wonderful build. I took it all the way to end game in 3.14, and it did absolutely amazing. As soon as the POB gets updated, I will have this build updated for 3.16 because I'm sure a few things will change. So if you guys pick this, it will be on my YouTube channel, which you obviously are already on. You'll find the video 3.16 updated, and you should be good to go. Our third build for League Start is Vel's Stormbrand Occultist, which takes our existing lightning-based Stormbrand and converts it into cold damage. She is a cultist, and she is running dual curse, as well as some ES regen and big chills, big freezes. It has really great clear speed with really good bossing. I was watching some of her videos, and I am extremely impressed with how it does with bossing. So I think this is going to be a great build for the new Uber content, specifically Blight and Breach. Just because there are some very heavy hitting targets, very brutish and thick bosses and rares in that content coming out, and I think this is going to be a great one to run. She has a wonderful detailed guide on the Path of Exile forums. It is all content viable, and she runs, like I said, dual curse, very high energy shield, and she relies on chilling and freezing as her defensive kind of part of the build, as well as her mobility, obviously with Flame Dash. When everything is slowed down, action speed and such, it really helps you to stay alive quite a bit. The budget is very low to start. You do run hybrid, and there is barely any investment at all getting run into maps. So you're able to level this up from level 12 and just steamroll and get into maps, start doing work. And then there's various stages that you can scale this in. Towards the end, you're going to be running low life clusters, which is a really, really large investment for some of the things that she's looking for. Watcher's Eyes, and this can really be scaled to a pretty massive degree. So if you guys are interested in something that is relatively fast, it has great bossing, it has a lot of chills, and you really enjoy running high ES builds, I think this is the build for you. I would absolutely recommend that you go check out her channel and this video and see what it's all about. Our fourth guide is from Goofy Goober, and his build is the Cyclone Slayer. You can find this in the link in the description below. It is on the Path of Exile forums, and this is a tried and true League Start skill from Path of Exile. Cyclone, it's just one of the best. It's one of the most comfortable. It's one of the easiest. It's one of the most relaxing. You just spin and you win. That's pretty much what it's about. The somewhat unique thing about this one is that it is in fact Slayer using Impale and the Overleech, i.e. Endless Hunger Ascendancy, which allows your leech to go above, or it doesn't stop once you reach max health, right? So you overleech, and that's where the majority of the defense of this build comes in. It's fairly low life, somewhere around 45 to 5,000 with dual cluster, big investment. And so you have to understand that you are not very tanky unless you are hitting something. Now, this thing is absolutely going to offer very little resistance in the way of enemy mobs, and you're going to absolutely decimate everything in your path. 7 million some odd DPS, give or take, from the POB. Very impressive. It is a purely life-based character, and the budget is a little bit of investment, but to be honest, you need a decent weapon and Impale, and you're pretty much off to the races. As soon as you hit maps, you're good to go. It's very scalable, especially with cluster jewels. It's all content viable. The guide is in the description below. Fantastic clear speed, really good bossing, especially for those really thick rares with all the modifiers that you're going to see in the new Uber content. I think this is going to be a wonderful build. It's not the fastest, but it is extremely efficient in what it does. And that is just mowing through mobs of enemies. As long as you're hitting something, you're most likely not going to die. Now, you are going to have to dodge mechanics here and there. You are obviously with your low health pool, you are very much susceptible to getting one-shotted. So it is somewhat of an active play style, but for the most part, just mow everything over. And I think you guys will like this build. I've played this build personally, and it is fantastic. I want to thank you guys for watching the League Start Guide video for the 3.16, the Scourge expansion for Path of Exile. I appreciate y'all's support. Hopefully this makes your choice of League Start a little bit easier. I went through and I found these builds, one of them being my own, and I think these are really going to be some of the top tier options for the new expansion, given what the patch notes said. So I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of the weekend. I will talk to you guys very soon. We are going to be doing a couple of guides as soon as the Path of Building drops. So be on the look for that, and you can subscribe and hit the alert button for if you want to see those videos drop the day of. And if you enjoyed, please consider subbing and liking the video. It really does help out a lot. You guys have a wonderful evening, and I will talk to you guys very soon. Bye bye.